us finish out day 4 of the Collin Griffith case. All right, so day 4, let's take it from here.
She said, you lied to me. And I said, I told you I didn't know if Collin was there. I said, because I don't want you going over there and grabbing him. You just threw him out. Give him some time, give you some time. Let's not have a huge problem associated with this.
And aside from conversations that the jury has heard between you and Kathy over the next hours, did you specifically tell Kathy not to go to your house in Auburndale?
Yes. I said, I will be going Sunday morning. I left first thing Sunday morning. I was going to leave right then, but I was so tired and I have difficulty seeing in the dark that I thought, no, it's better that I wait. In hindsight, I should have gone. But so I waited. I talked to her. She said, no, Mom, I'm going. And that's when she said, I sold the car. They're going to come by and pick it up. I said, you can't sell Collin's car. It's his car. No, I don't care. I'm selling it. I'm turning it into his probation officer for not, because he's not allowed to leave the county, which when I talked to the probation officer, I found out that Kathy had told them that I had terminal cancer. So therefore, Collin could come and visit me anytime I want. I had to tell the probation officer, well, right now, I'm only at stage anytime I told them that which when I talked to the probation officer, because he's not allowed to leave the county, which when I talked to the probation officer, I found out that Kathy had told them that I had terminal cancer. So therefore,
that's crazy. All right. Yeah. All right.
Collin could come and visit me anytime I want. I had to tell the probation officer, well, right now I'm only at stage 3, so no, and I'm only in observation, so I'm not terminal.
Okay.
So,
but you personally told Kathy to not go to Auburndale.
Yes, I told her. I said, when I get back, I will give him gas money and I will follow him there, or we can wait until Monday morning. Let's just wait. Don't go there. You don't have permission to go.
Why did you not want her to go to your house in Auburndale?
Because I didn't want her to start a fight with Collin. I was afraid that she would be combative, maybe go after him with a baseball bat, a gun, something.
I don't have any other.
Hold on. Wait, what? Why did you think that? I'm going to take this timestamp down to 03:13, maybe 12, maybe 11. What?
The questions, I don't think.
A note to end on.
I don't have any other questions, but Mr. Levine does.
Mr. Levine. Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Stedman.
Good morning.
I guess Levine has to establish that Kathy, in fact, loved her son.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Stedman, I know you're going through a lot with the loss of your daughter and cancer and everything else, but I'm going to need to ask you some questions if that's all right with you.
Yes, sir.
And these are some respectful people. The attorneys are so polite. They're so professional.
Now, today here in court in front of the jury, you've talked about that you were concerned that Kathy was going to attack.
Okay, so that's good. He started exactly where the fence left off, which is, I guess it's not typically how I do my cross. I would have started from the very beginning.
Grandson, and then you listed a bunch of different weapons. But weren't you more concerned that your grandson, who had killed someone before and had been violent countless times with your daughter, weren't you concerned that he was the one that was going to attack your daughter?
That's a risky question. That is a risky question because she's testifying on behalf of the defense. and she's testifying in favor of the grandson. That's, ooh, prosecutor. I would not have. That's not where I would have gone. But I guess that's where you start as opposed to ending.
No, he had not been violent countless times with Kathy. Kathy had been violent with him countless times.
Now, a lot of the things you said here today, you never bothered to tell me or law enforcement or anyone.
Objection. Judge, it's improper impeachment.
Why is it improper?
Ms. Detman, as it pertains to your grandson, do you talk to him a lot on the phone since he's been in jail?
Yes,
Okay. Do you do any emailing with him?
I don't email with him while he's in jail. No,
you
just
prefer
talking
to-
on the phone.
Talk with him? All right.
Yes.
And how many times a week would you say that you talk to your grandson on the
I
phone?
usually talk to him 3 times. I encourage him to pray. I ask him if he's eating. I mean, I'm a dietitian. That's what I do. That he's drinking.
Oh,
his
she's
milk,
a dietitian. Got it. So that's okay. Got it.
that he's exercising in his cell, and most important, that he's reading books. And I keep telling him, you have got to pray. You've got to read your Bible.
Now, I mean, this is an obvious question, but you love your grandson, correct?
Yes,
Your daughter is dead, clearly,
yes.
and she's not coming back, correct?
No,
Now, would you agree that you don't want to see the defendant have to go to prison for a very long time? Is that correct?
I don't want to see my grandson go to prison for something he didn't do.
Dang, she is baby. Kathy is not playing. All right, Kathy, that's a good response.
All right. Well, you couldn't make it any more crystal clear that you're up there and all your answers that you've given have been driven by you believing that the defendant, your grandson, didn't murder your daughter, correct?
I am giving clear answers, sir, as to what happened. I know my daughter. That's why I didn't want her coming that day to the house without me being there. I wanted her to wait the next day so that maybe she could calm down a little bit.
You know your grandson too, correct?
Yes,
And you know his history, correct?
yes.
Now, you say you know what happened, but you weren't there when it happened.
No, I'm not saying that I know what happened. I know the possibility
What
of,
was
There.
the question?
Now, you say you know what happened, but you weren't there when it happened.
no, I'm not saying that I know what happened. I know the possibility of what could.
Hold on.
Now, you say you know what happened, but you weren't there when it happened.
No, I'm not saying that I know what happened. I know the possibility of what could have happened. I wasn't there, so I have no way of knowing. I just know the facts about Kathy, having lived with her and worked with her, even to try to maintain her sanity, to try to maintain that she could keep her job as a teacher, to try to maintain that she wasn't trying to slice herself and kill herself.
Okay,
And
let's,
not coming after my husband with a gun.
okay, let's talk a little bit more about Kathy. Now, it sounded like she had some mental problems. Is that correct?
Yes,
Now, you would probably agree that it didn't help that she got impregnated when she was just a child, correct?
Oh, my goodness.
she was 13. She got impregnated when she
I've answered the question.
ran away from the Hope House, and they found her.
Ran away from
She
where?
got
Hold on. Wait, there's a lot going on. Oh, I dropped my pencil. Okay, I was not prepared for this.
Now, you would probably agree that it didn't help that she got impregnated when she was just a child, correct?
She was 13. She got impregnated when she ran away from the Hope House, and they found her in
Ran away from the Hope House. So was Kathy in a group home?
the hotel with her boyfriend. It didn't help that her father called her F bitches, and
What on earth is going on?
that she was damaged goods, and he didn't want anything to do with her.
Ma'am, It sounds like you're really quick to try to throw dirt on your dead daughter. Would you agree with that?
No, not at all. My dead daughter did the best that she could. We have a problem in this country with addressing mental health. We all know that.
Okay, but what about your grandson's mental health?
And that's what she had. She had mental health issues. At times, she was the greatest person on the world. Very intelligent.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Now, your daughter worked as a teacher for many, many years, correct?
Yes, she did.
And her students loved her, correct?
Yes, they did, for the most part. I mean, as with any teachers, you're going to have some students that, I mean, I'm an
That's difficult for her to answer.
educator myself. You're going to have some students that don't. For the most part, yes.
And she cared about her students, correct?
Yes, she did.
She had a passion and a love for teaching.
Yes, she did.
And she taught, predominantly she taught English, correct?
Yes.
And she cared so much about her students that at a certain point, she let one of her students move in when she was married to her ex-husband, Chuck, correct?
What? That is
Yes.
so chaotic.
And then, unfortunately for your daughter, Chuck took advantage of this underage student.
What? Wait, what? What's up, Benji? What? Because when the prosecutor mentioned that she let one of her students live with her, I'm like, who in their right mind, why would she allow another individual to live in what sounds like a chaotic family to begin with? That is so crazy. I cannot believe this.
Her students move in when she was married to her ex-husband, Chuck, correct?
Yes.
And then, unfortunately for your daughter, Chuck took advantage of this underage student, is what it's believed to have happened, correct? And
Judge, I'm going to object to the relevance of all this.
Approach.
What on earth? Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. Where do they go from here? What on earth? That's too much going on.
Miss Stedman, I'm sorry we have to talk about some unpleasant things, but it'll be over soon enough.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Dang, I'm like, these people, these attorneys are so pleasant, really pleasant.
So, do you recall my last question?
Yes.
Uh,
You were asking me why I was spilling dirt on my dead daughter, and I said, I'm not.
That was not the
I said, I
case.
supported her. I've gone into massive debt in trying to ensure
Okay, ma'am.
that she had.
appreciate that, but that was a few questions.
Oh, you're talking about how Kathy ran away from the Hope House and they found her in the,
No, I'm not talking about that either. But if you listen to my questions,
Just ask the question.
it'll get easier.
Yeah.
So we were talking about your daughter, that she was a very committed teacher and very committed to the youth of her classroom. And I mentioned that at a certain point, she even allowed one of her students to move into the household, and it was believed that Chuck had an inappropriate relationship with this
That's
student.
crazy.
Are you aware of that? With a yes or no answer, if we can start at that place, I'd appreciate it. Are you aware of that?
yes.
And you were not a big fan of Chuck as it
But my mind is just so blown. They had too much going on.
ended up being the divorce, correct? For how he treated her, from how he impregnated her as a child through the years.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I figured this Chuck individual must actually be much older.
Physically, emotionally, and mentally abusive to your daughter. I can't imagine you were a fan of that, were you?
No, Robert was the one that was a fan of Chuck.
What?
Fan of that, were you?
No, Robert was the one that was a fan of Chuck.
Okay, so the father liked this abusive man apparently, and she did not.
Now, I Ma'am, I understand that you hate your ex-husband.
I don't.
Right, because she has to bring the man up.
Well, it sounds like you're throwing stuff about Robert in a lot.
You just asked me if I was a fan, and I wanted to tell you who in the family was. I knew Chuck from the
You're
time he was.
Stedman,
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's the point.
Okay.
He gets to ask the
I'm
questions
sorry.
to elicit the information he's looking for. If additional information is needed, Ms. Thornhill or Mr. Hendry will make sure to address it. So
Okay.
just pay close attention to the question that's asked and try to answer just the question that's asked.
I apologize.
It's all right. Mr. Levine?
Appreciate it. Ms. Stetman, as it pertains to your last piece of information that you provided, as it pertains to your husband, he hated Chuck for what Chuck did to his daughter, that being impregnating a little girl, correct?
Wait, hold on. I just cannot. What?
As it pertains to your last piece of information that you provided, as it pertains to your husband, he hated Chuck for what Chuck did to his daughter, that being impregnating a little girl, correct?
I'm going to object to the relevance of and to speculation about what Robert thought about Chuck.
Sustain this to relevance.
All right, Ms. Detman, if I ask you a question that for your information, just please answer it irrespective of your feelings about your ex-husband, all right? Now, at a certain point, Kathy got divorced from Chuck, correct?
Yes,
After years of unthinkable abuse, correct?
yes.
Now, let's move on to a different subject matter. When your grandson lived in Oklahoma with his dad for about 3 years or so, at the end of that, your grandson wanted to come live with Kathy and actually was able to, correct?
Yes,
And Kathy was very happy about that, correct?
yes,
And she felt that she had missed out, understandably so, on multiple years of her son's life, correct?
yes.
And she was trying to fix or make your grandson's life better.
She was trying to improve his lifestyle, yes.
Now, you described it as a fight in Port Charlotte where law enforcement came because you said your daughter was beating Collin with a belt that made him do sit-ups and push-ups. You remember that?
I did push-ups. I took away the sit-ups. It was push-ups and putting the weights above his head and running in place.
Okay, thanks for
Brooklyn.
clarifying that. Now, you remember talking to law enforcement.
Brooklyn, that might be a little too harsh. Brooklyn says that grandma produced an excellent child. Yeah, they have something going on.
When they came out there, correct?
Yes,
And given a sworn statement because you just wanted both parties, your grandson and your daughter, you wanted everybody to be safe and healthy and happy, correct?
yes.
Now, Ms. Detman, as to the root of what the issue was that night, do you remember telling the deputy that the three of you were at the dining room table
Okay.
and Susan had Collin seated down and Kathy told Collin that she would be implementing new parenting rules and Collin would be having his Xbox, his cell phone, and other items taken away as disciplinary action due to him being disrespectful to her. Do you recall telling law enforcement that?
I remember telling law enforcement about the Xbox would be, I don't know if it was taken away, but it was going to be restricted.
And at that time, your grandson didn't want to hear from his mom, and so he stood up and threatened to fight her and said, "Let's just do it." Correct?
That was after the incident with the exercising and belt, the beating of the belt. That's when Kathy wanted us to all sit down and eat sandwiches Like, it literally went from one extreme to another. Sit down and eat sandwiches. And then Collin got up from the table and said, let's just do it. And I went to go get my phone to contact Officer Rentis or Corporal Rentis or Officer Lacey.
Okay, all right, very good. Now, you mentioned that you and your family members love to talk about how violent Kathy was. Is that right?
No, we didn't love to talk about how violent Kathy was. We talked about what we could do to help her. We didn't want her to lose her job. We didn't want her to be suicidal. And more than anything, we wanted her to try to get better.
Did you talk about how violent your grandson was?
No.
And why not? Weren't you concerned about that?
Objections.
Now, you were concerned about where the defendant would live, correct? In terms of who he might hurt, whether he lived with you and your husband, Nikki, or if he lived with Kathy.
My husband did not want Collin to live with us because
I
he's
wonder why. Hold on. I don't know. These folks have just. All right, let's get into it.
my husband did not want Collin to live with us because he said that if Collin lived with us, Kathy would be over at the house and he didn't want to have to deal with Kathy.
What's up, Jason?
Man, didn't Nikki say he didn't want Kathy, he didn't want Collin to live with them because he was afraid that Collin might kill you or kill him?
Nine.
No.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, now let's move on to the subject matter of kitchen knives or butcher knives. Do you tell the jury about the time when you noticed that there was a knife missing from your residence there in Auburndale, and you were trying to figure out who stole the knife or who took the knife?
Yes, there was a small knife with a blade like this that I'd bought at the dollar store, which is now like the $1.29 store. And
Sorry, I need to go back.
And you were trying to better
Did a missing
kill
knife?
you. He didn't want Collin to live with them because. All right, now let's move on to the subject matter of kitchen knives or butcher knives. Do you tell the jury about the time when you noticed that there was a knife missing from your residence there in Auburndale, and you were trying to figure out who stole the knife or who took the knife?
yes, there was a small knife with a blade like this that I'd bought at the dollar store, which is now like the $1.29 store. And it had a protective cover on it, and it wasn't in the drawer with the rest of the knives and silverware.
And did you find out eventually that your grandson had taken the knife?
Yes.
Wow.
And he basically told you he just needed it just in case and did not elaborate on what he was going to do with it?
He said he just needed it.
Now, at that time also, Kathy made it explicitly clear to you that she was afraid that the defendant might hurt her, correct?
Not at that time, it was later.
And there was multiple times when Kathy let you know that she was afraid for your safety and for her own safety.
Yes.
My goodness.
Now, you mentioned that a couple of things about the 7th and the 8th of September. You mentioned that Collin told you that he didn't have a phone with him on the 7th. Is that correct?
Yes.
Were you aware that he did have his cell phone with him and it was in his car?
So his cell phone had been turned off by his mother. She used to do that anytime she'd kick him out, she'd turn the cell phone off. In fact, it's in the records that she turned it off, and she turned it on, and she turned it off.
And you mentioned that the sliding door, that it had no lock on. Is that correct?
We had adapted the sliding door for a doggy door so Freddie could go in and out when he was staying in Auburndale.
Brooklyn said yes or no.
And so it did not have a locking mechanism. You could close the door, but you couldn't lock it.
And so that's how you mentioned that your grandson was able to get into your house on the 7th?
Oh, plus the front door was, I don't believe in locks. I've been burglarized and the burglars got in quicker than I could find my lock. I don't lock things.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, your response when this was going on, when law enforcement made contact with you, was that you didn't know that Collin was a psychopathic killer, correct?
I never said that. Never.
If I may approach, please, Your Honor.
Amen.
And I'm going to show you page 59 of 67 of her statement on September 8th.
Let's see it before you approach.
I'm sorry?
I wanted you to see what he's
Thank you.
referring to before you approach.
Oh my goodness. I just cannot. They have too much going on.
And if you could just take your time and read the highlighted portion to yourself.
For one thing, I don't use words like stupid, Collin. I would never say.
Wait, what? Isn't she supposed to read to herself or?
You could just take your time and read the highlighted portion to yourself.
Yeah, I thought that's what I thought. I'm like, you're supposed to read to yourself.
For one thing, I don't use words like stupid, Collin. I would never say that.
Oh,
He
man.
He just wants you to
Oh,
read it to
okay.
yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
We may need to go sidebar real quick.
Have you finished reading it?
Yes.
Approach sidebar, please.
Oh my goodness. Oh, they actually do go out into the hallway. Ah. Okay. I've been gone for quite some time. Okay. Are they back? Yep. I like how his defense team, they don't leave him by himself. So somebody actually stays with him because I don't know, he might run off or something.
So we're moving in.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Detman, we're almost done, all right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Detman, is it a fair statement that Kathy had expressed to you that she was getting very frustrated with the fact that your grandson wouldn't do his chores, was disrespectful, and was basically just taking his mom for granted?
Yes.
And when Kathy was communicating with you on September 7th and September 8th, that was the Saturday and the Sunday, she did so by both text messages as well as phone calls, correct?
Yes, sir.
And Kathy made it clear that she wanted your grandson home by 10 a.m. on Sunday, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then when that didn't happen, when 10 a.m. came and went, she still made it clear that she wanted your grandson to come home, correct?
Yes.
And Kathy mentioned that she wanted him home. She wanted him to go get work at Domino's from like 4 or 4:30 to 8 or 8:30 on Sunday, correct?
Yes.
And your grandson was working at Domino's, correct?
Yes, he was.
And so Kathy wanted him home so he could then go to Domino's that night, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That's a good question.
And then kind of towards the end of the communications, then Kathy told you she was going to your house to get Collin to come home, correct?
Yes.
And she told you that either he could go home with her or he could drive, basically follow her in his car, correct?
Yes.
All right. Thank you for your time today, Ms. Dedman.
What on earth, prosecutor? Mr. Levine had more work to do than that. He had more work to do than that.
Is the witness released?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Levine, is she released?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, who is next?
Any other witnesses or other evidence you wish to present?
No, sir. That's right.
Address?
Okay.
Will there be any rebuttal, Mr. Levine?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, both parties have rested their cases. The next phase would be closing arguments, followed by your instructions on the law and then deliberations.
Okay.
Closing arguments in these types of cases are typically not short. Also, I need to have a conference with the lawyers regarding the jury instructions, although it is up to me to decide what laws apply and how you should be instructed. They do have a right to give input. That conference could take some time. So if we did all of that in closing arguments, we would be sending you out probably mid to late afternoon. And I don't want to do that to you. So I'm going to give you an early day today. We are going to work the rest of the afternoon to get all of those strings tied up so that tomorrow morning we'll begin directly with closing arguments, and the instructions will already be finalized, and you will be probably going to deliberations around lunchtime, I would imagine. So you're going to have an early day. Now, although you have heard all of the evidence, actually, I'm not quite sure about that. Give me just a moment. Would you approach just sidebar real quick?
Okay. All right, let's see. Let us see.
Our schedule, ladies and gentlemen. So before I dismiss you, I just need a few minutes with the lawyers outside your presence. So if you would just wait for us in the hallway for a moment.
All right, please.
How about this?
Right, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I did not ask you about whether or not you wanted to give testimony in this case, so I need to talk to you about that. I assume, based on your lawyer having rested, that you did not want to testify. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor.
That's not correct, or no, you did not want to testify?
I do not want to testify, Your
All
Honor.
right. And have you talked about that with your lawyers today?
Yes,
Have you talked about it with them on more than one occasion?
several, yes.
And did they answer any questions you had about whether or not you should testify and address any concerns you had about doing one thing or the other?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And do you need any more time with them before you answer my question in a few minutes about whether this is your final decision? Do you need any more time with them?
I'll take a minute.
All right.
All right.
So he can, Mr. Larson, if he can take them to the jury room.
47.
Okay. Had I known?
You have heard all the evidence in this case.
Or did they come back? You guys know I need to know everything. Need to hear every word. Anyways, let's go on. My kid's not going to testify. So.
State, for the record, these instructions were proposed by the state. And all instructions that have been given so far will go back. We will start this morning with 2.3 stipulations. I have included the exact language from the written stipulation that you handed to me and that I read.
Okay, the only reason why I want to hear what they're saying, I would like to know exactly what the jury was instructed on. Otherwise, we're ending. I have nothing else to do, so.
Court as
Here.
part of that instruction. Is there any objection to that? Mr. Levine?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Thornhill?
No objection.
That takes us to 2.7, closing argument. That appears to be standard. Is there any objection?
No, sir.
3.1, substantive instructions on it.
Is there anything else? Oh no, they don't have sound. Let me quickly take a look at day 5. One moment.
And you are not requesting or the imminent commission of some applicable force.
No, because the applicable forcible felony would be aggravated battery, which indicates
Collin.
death or great bodily harm, so I think it's unnecessary.
All right. Is there any dispute about duty to retreat and which instruction I give on that, Mr. Levine? There's either Collin Griffith had no duty to retreat before using deadly force, or one that begins if Collin Griffith was
Oh
not.
shoot, I forgot. I completely forgot about standing your ground in Florida. So that does, maybe I should go back to let me go back to the jury instructions, because I don't want to do, again, I'm writing most of these things down. I completely forgotten about standing your ground in California. What's the place? The state, Florida. Let me go back to the jury instructions. I'm not going to skip anything. I forgot about that. On here.
And Your Honor, we're not raising additional argument on judgment of acquittal, but we would.
Hold on.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's a problem with trying to skip through things. Oh yeah, I need to make a note of that. I forgot. Alright.
Mr. Griffith, would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I did not ask you about whether or not you wanted to give testimony in this case, so I need to talk to you about that. I assume, based on your lawyer having rested, that you did not want to testify. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor.
That's not correct, or no, you did not want to testify?
I did not want to testify, Your
All
Honor.
right. And have you talked about that with your lawyers today?
Yes,
Have you talked about it with them on more than one occasion?
several, yes.
And did they answer any questions you had about whether or not you should testify and address any concerns you had about doing one thing or the other?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And do you need any more time with them before you answer my question in a few minutes about whether this is your final decision? Do you need any more time with them?
Oh, I did that already. Hold on, I went too far. Yeah, I forgot about the Florida stand your ground.
Because you won't be allowed to deliberate on
What's
with one.
what is telling
The
me?
jury has chosen to continue law
Wait.
age on the law.
All right. Yeah, I was about to skip.
Please be seated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, although you have heard all of the evidence in this case, You still have not heard the arguments of the lawyers or the instructions on the law. So remember, it's not time to think about how you might decide the case or to formulate any opinions about the merits of the case. Also remember to avoid the news as I previously instructed you, and to avoid talking about the case with anyone or looking anything up. Now, tomorrow, you'll be receiving this case for deliberations. I want to remind you that a jury may deliberate as much or as little as it feels necessary to that particular jury to do so. But what that means is that it's possible your deliberations could go past 5 o'clock if that's what you all agree to. It could be earlier than that, but the point is, you may want to let those who would normally be expecting you after 5 o'clock, that if you're not home, that the jury has chosen to continue deliberating. So just keep that in mind. Also, if you've been bringing your lunch during jury service, you may still do that, but I want to advise you that the court will be providing you with lunch tomorrow, because I anticipate you will begin your deliberations around lunchtime. That way you won't have to separate, because you won't be allowed to deliberate unless you're all together at the table in the jury room. That will facilitate your deliberations beginning as soon as possible. So I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you tomorrow morning at 8:30.
All
All
right.
right.
Okay, so we got that out of the way. Let's get to let's see what these folks are going to be advised of.
State, for the record, these instructions were proposed by the state. All instructions that have been given so far will go back. We will start this morning with 2.3 stipulations. I have included the exact language from the written stipulation that you handed to me and that I read in court as part of that instruction. Is there any objection to that? Mr. Levine?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Thornhill?
No objection.
That takes us to 2.7, closing argument. That appears to be standard. Is there any objection?
No, sir.
3.1, introduction to final instructions is standard. Is there any objection?
No, sir.
3.2, statement of the charge is standard and accurate. Is there any objection?
No, sir.
It seems like the substantive instructions on the crimes are at the end, but they would come next. And we begin with 7.1, introduction to homicide. That is a standard instruction and states what appear to be the appropriate lessors.
Yes, Judge, hold on, let me get to it since I didn't reorder them. It does appear to be standard and accurate.
No objection.
No objection.
All right. 7.2, first degree.
Yeah, I don't want to skip through this. Just again, we need to be very clear on what the jury will be instructed on.
Premeditated murder appears to be a standard instruction. Is there any objection?
No, sir.
7.3, first degree felony murder appears to be standard. Is there any objection?
No, sir.
That takes us to 7.4. Well, after that, I would get when there were lesser included crimes or attempts. That is back up. Here, and again, it states second degree murder and manslaughter as the lessers.
Those are the category 1 lessers.
Any other lessers requested?
No, sir.
All right, and then for kidnapping, false imprisonment.
Correct. Also a category 1 lesser.
Any other lessors requested as to kidnapping?
No, sir.
All right. All right, second degree murder appears to be the standard instruction. Is there any objection?
No, sir. There doesn't appear to be a manslaughter instruction in the packet.
I don't have it either. Let me pull it from the Florida Bar website. Give me just a moment.
Okay, what's going on? Why are they whispering? All right.
Kidnapping also comes before when there are lesser included
Right.
crimes or attempts. Is there any objection to the kidnapping instruction as proposed?
No, sir.
All right. All right, so since the state did not include 7.7 manslaughter, is the state asking to proceed on just manslaughter by act, element 2A?
Yes, sir.
Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that.
All right, so it will read to prove the crime of manslaughter. The state must prove the following 2 elements beyond a reasonable doubt. Kathy Griffith is dead. Have you been putting her middle name in?
No, Your Honor.
And then I will take out the A, the letter A. Element 2 will simply read Collin Griffith intentionally committed an act or acts that caused the death of Kathy Griffith. And then the next paragraph, every person has a duty to act reasonably toward others. If there is a violation of that duty without any conscious intention to harm, that violation is negligence. The defendant cannot be guilty of manslaughter by committing a merely negligent act, or if the killing was either justifiable or excusable homicide, as I have previously explained to you. In order to convict of manslaughter by act, it is not necessary for the state to prove that the defendant had an intent to cause death, only an intent to commit an act that was not merely negligent, justified, or excusable, and which caused death. And that's it, correct, Mr. Levine?
It is, and thanks for taking care of that, Judge.
Ms. Thornhill, you agree that's
I do.
all
You got
they
some
should be instructed?
respectful
I do
people.
agree.
Just a moment.
What's going on? All right, what is going on? Are they done?
Do false imprisonment, which appears to be the standard instruction. Is there any objection?
No objection.
All right. Let me back it up.
Judge, do you read excusable homicide and justifiable use of deadly force after the lessers or after introduction of homicide, or
Well, I generally read that after all lessers,
Got
unless you want it someplace else.
Nope.
Mr. Levine?
I'm fine with whatever the defense requests, Your Honor.
And so that would come next. Pull up that construction. I had it up somewhere, I think, this morning. Right, that is 3.6F. And this was proposed by the defense, but it's got the whole kitchen sink in it, so we need to talk about that.
Yep.
Just a moment.
All right, what's going on?
So it should, the title should just be justifiable use of deadly force, correct?
Correct.
It is a defense.
Honestly, we could go to day 4, but it's so late in the evening. I'm tired. I need to get ready to prepare my laundry for tomorrow. So we'll finish this up and then
You're claiming
Calling it a
self-defense
night.
against account 1, correct?
The first degree murder, yes.
It is a defense to the crime of first degree murder if the actions of Collin, Griffith constitute the justifiable use of deadly force. Deadly force means force likely to cause death or great bodily harm. Great bodily harm means great, as distinguished from slight, trivial, minor,
let me see
or
what
moderate
Brooklyn
harm.
can do. What is
Collin Griffith does not have the burden of proving that he was justified in using.
I see they had a trial going on, something titled bedtime murder or something along those lines. Things that have to do with kids. I don't watch that stuff, but they have reached a verdict. I don't know what the verdict is.
Deadly force. Instead, for you to find the defendant guilty, the state must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant was not justified in using deadly force. Collin Griffith was justified in using.
Brooklyn, did Karen Reed file another motion to dismiss? Or is lawyer, was he just going over a motion that was previously filed?
Deadly force. He reasonably believed that such force was necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to himself, correct?
Correct.
And you are not requesting or the imminent commission of some applicable force.
No, because the applicable forcible felony would be aggravated battery, which indicates death or great bodily harm, so I think it's unnecessary.
Okay, why are they cutting out?
All right. Is there any dispute about duty to retreat and which
There we go.
instruction I give on that, Mr. Levine? There's either Collin Griffith had no duty to retreat before using deadly force, or one that begins if Collin Griffith was not committing any crime other than the alleged, I assume that was a kidnapping. No. You tell me. That's not right.
I don't think he had a duty to retreat. He was in a place that he was allowed to be, in fact, was living there, so it's like it's his home.
Mr. Levine?
I don't disagree that the defendant did not have a duty to retreat. Of course, I said in the context of
I
the
understand.
defense advancing the self-defense.
I understand. All right, so we'll simply read Collin Griffith had no duty to retreat before using deadly force. Mine's that second part here again. Oh, because it was in a dwelling. So Ms. Thornhill, that next section is similar. To the paragraph which reads, Collin Griffith was justified in using deadly force if he reasonably believed that such force was necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to himself or others. But then this next section encompasses the same context or the same law, but in the context of standard of ground. I don't think both need to be given, but is this what you're requesting, or just the simple to prevent?
I mean, I would rather have both, just in case the jury thinks that he didn't have a right to stand his ground in this house that he had a right to be in. I realize it's somewhat duplicative, but it's the standard and that's what is allowed for. It doesn't say give
Right.
this or this.
Mr. Levine?
No objection.
All right, so the next part we'll read. Collin Griffith was in a, do you want dwelling or residence?
Residence is fine.
Was in a residence in which he had a right to be. He had no duty to retreat. He had the right to stand his ground and use force, including deadly force, if he reasonably believed that such conduct was necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to himself.
That's correct, and B is not requested.
All right. Why does it keep cutting out? Are they done?
Correct. Justify, I'm sorry. So, or commit a felony upon him, or commit a felony upon her in a dwelling in which he was present. Are you asking for any of that?
Well, and once again, Judge, it seems duplicative, but since it's not in the disjunctive, and it's entirely possible the jury could believe that Kathy was trying to murder Collin or at least commit an aggravated battery upon him, I would request it.
Mr. Levine?
No objection.
Yeah.
And so we'll read the use of deadly force is justifiable if Collin and Griffith reasonably believed that the force was necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to himself while resisting any attempt to murder him or commit an aggravated battery upon him.
Yeah, can we also add aggravated assault?
Mr. Levine?
I don't object to the aggravated battery. What was the context, Your Honor, again, of the aggravated assault request by the defense?
They wanted to read the use of deadly
Go
force
back.
is justifiable if Collin Griffith.
Why is it hard to believe? Hopefully you heard some more of Susan, because I don't know. They had a lot going.
Griffith reasonably believed that the force was necessary to prevent imminent death.
Apparently on cross, it was elicited that Kathy had allowed one of her students to live with them. I don't know why, considering that they're so unstable, but she allowed one of the students to live with them, and then the husband ended up having an improper relationship with this student. They have issues.
For great bodily harm to himself while resisting.
The entire trial was swift, though. They did not have any real issues in this case, because they litigated the legal issues beforehand. They had very few sidebars. All witnesses were present. They were prepped, ready to go. So they were pretty organized.
Resisting any attempt to murder him or commit an aggravated battery or aggravated assault on him.
No objection.
But the last paragraph you're not asking for.
Oh, no, C, correct, I'm not asking for that.
This next part about law enforcement and excessive force is not applicable. You agree?
I agree.
Now, in
These
deciding
folks were really
whether
organized. I'm trying to buy a gift. I'm trying to buy a gift for somebody that is in their 60s. It's a birthday gift. But I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. They're retired. They're trying to start a book club. I'm on Etsy. I'm trying to buy. I don't know. I don't want to say that I have limited options. I was gonna go with a gift card though, but I hate gift cards. I hate gift cards just because I feel like folks have not actually put in much effort into the gift. So I'm trying to do something beyond a gift card.
Collin Griffith was justified in the use of deadly force. You must consider the circumstances at the time force was used. The danger need not have been actual, however, to justify the use of deadly force. The appearance of imminent danger must have been so real that the defendant actually believed the use of deadly force was necessary. Moreover, to justify the use of deadly force, a reasonably cautious and prudent person under the same circumstances would have believed the use of deadly force, was necessary. this next portion about presumption of fear is not applicable, correct?
I don't think it's applicable, Judge.
All right, come on, folks.
And nor is the next portion of those A through D paragraphs, correct?
I agree.
Nothing about a presumption of intent to commit an unlawful act, agreed.
I agree that that is not applicable.
I do need to define residence, correct? But not dwelling, since we haven't chosen.
Right, I think
Do you agree,
residence.
Mr. Levine?
No objection.
I do not need to define vehicle, correct?
Correct.
All right. And then there's this part. However, the use of deadly force is not justified if you find that Collin Griffith was attempting to committing or escaping after the commission of an applicable forcible felony. Am I getting that?
I am not.
Yes, sir.
Or kidnapping, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is there an objection?
No.
However, the use of deadly force is not justified
I don't think that,
I don't know that that applies, does it, Mr. Levine?
No objection.
All right, so that whole section comes out. All right, and then I'm assuming you want prior threats or difficulties.
yes, please.
So that would be if you find that Collin Griffith, who, because of prior threats or difficulties with Kathy Griffith, had reasonable grounds to believe that he was in danger of death or great bodily harm at the hands of Kathy Griffith. You may consider this fact in determining whether the actions Collin Griffith were those of a reasonable person. If you find that at the time of the alleged first degree or yes, alleged first degree murder, should it also say the lessers?
As with the previous section in the same instruction, it could say first degree murder and all included lessers.
If you find that at the time of the alleged first degree murder or any lesser included offense, Collin Griffith knew that Kathy Griffith,
And Judge, I'm sorry to interrupt.
yes,
The state's proposed instructions uses Catherine Griffith, so
Oh.
we should probably be consistent throughout.
all
I'm
right,
sorry.
I'll make that
Yep.
change.
Got it.
before I- Thank you for that. Catherine Griffith had committed an act or acts of violence.
Okay, that's important.
You may consider that fact in determining
All right.
Collin Griffith reasonably believed it was necessary for
I'm gonna take down this timestamp 3:34:33. Okay.
him to use deadly force. All right, as to these two reputations, are you asking for one or both?
Both, please.
Mr. Levine?
No objection.
All right. If
That
you
man does
find
not
that
object to anything.
Catherine Griffith had a reputation of being a violent and dangerous person, and that
Mm.
her reputation was known to Collin Griffith. You may consider this fact in determining whether the actions of Collin Griffith were those of a reasonable person in dealing with an individual of that reputation. If you find that Catherine Griffith had a reputation of being a violent and dangerous person, you may consider this fact in determining whether she was the initial aggressor. Then, in considering the issue of self-defense, you may take into account the relative physical
You know
abilities
that. Let me
and
take a look.
of Collin Griffith.
Oh, I actually did not think about that.
Griffith.
No, that.
And that is it.
Add to.
Yes.
These are so cheap.
Any other comments, requests, suggestions with respect to justifiable use of deadly force?
No, sir.
All right.
And one quick question, is it my understanding that all the proposed subsections of
Thanks, Olbag. That's actually a good recommendation. I'm gonna buy why, because it's cheap.
justifiable use of deadly force have come from the standard jury instruction? There's no special request by the defense?
No special requests.
Everything, what was,
Wait,
All the proposed subsections of justifiable use of deadly force have come from the standard jury instruction? There's no special request by the defense?
No special requests.
everything, what was sent to me by Ms. Thornhill appeared to be directly copied from the Florida Bar website. So,
Yes,
All right.
it was.
all right. Moving back up.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion.
So then would excusable homicide follow that?
Are you talking about introduction of homicide?
No, that there was actually an excusable homicide instruction that was provided in the packet that the state,
Where is that?
I don't remember where it is.
The introduction to homicide portion, I'd have to scroll down to confirm, but
I didn't see that in my copy. I mean,
You're right.
excusable homicide is included in introduction to homicide.
But it doesn't give the explanation of what the circumstances are under which it would be excusable.
It's an incomplete instruction. I have the killing of a human being is excusable and therefore lawful under any one of the following three circumstances.
Okay.
When the killing is committed by accident or misfortune, when doing any lawful act by lawful means with usual ordinary caution without any unlawful intent. Or two, when the killing occurs by accident and misfortunate heat of passion, upon any sudden and sufficient provocation. Or three, same thing, if a dangerous weapon is not used and the killing is not done in a cruel and unusual manner. Is that what you were referring to?
Yeah, that's what I'm requesting, and maybe it just is
I
part
think
of
what it is-
introduction to homicide, it just,
I think what it was is, because the standard instruction has the two sections, justifiable and excusable, and they're they're all caps in the standard instruction, and probably what happened is
Just
it
second
went
page.
to a second page. But
Got
that's in there. All right. All right, after self-defense, are there any aggravator instructions that need to be given for weapons or anything like that? I didn't see any.
Your Honor, I think in the verdict form, there's special findings, and you're right, there should be an aggravator as it pertains to the knife and the weapon, but I don't believe that I remember to include it.
That would be aggravation by carrying, displaying, using, threatening to use, attempting to use a weapon. And was that charged in the indictment?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Sure.
Just to count one, I believe.
Yes.
All right, are you guys done? You're almost there. I mean, they're not even fighting. They're not even fighting
So that is
during
A.
I'm sorry?
That's 3.3A.
Dang, do you have a book club? Old Bag Jerome's here. What's up, Jerome? Okay. Ooh, the book club starter kit. No. I was not gonna get the digital. It's actually an actual pad. That I saw. It's like $7. I'm like, wait, what? I mean, it might actually be pricey considering that it's really tiny. But still, Benji, I had a good day. I mean, I did not do much apart from being out here on live, but I had a good day. I think overall I had a good week for sure. I'm glad that I was kind of hesitant about whether I should still take my day or my week off because, uh, I had to cancel my vacation. But I'm actually glad that I got time off of from work. I slept, I got decent sleep. Um, and my daughter and I went out for breakfast yesterday and today, and we'll be going tomorrow as well. And then, yeah, how was your day, Benji? I hope you had a good day. Did you work today or no?
Do you object to that
I
instruction?
mean, this has been a really interesting case because I got to and we watched it together, top to bottom. There are only 2 days left, but I think we can get through those on Sunday. I won't be live tomorrow. Definitely not live on Saturday because my kid and I are up to stuff. Sunday, that's when my kid usually goes swimming. So for Sunday, though, I'll have to figure out what time we go live. I'm thinking probably around 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're gonna need about 3 hours. Or do I maybe go live later on? I think it's probably gonna make sense to go live later on because I have to clean my floors.
Being given?
No.
I think let's hammer that one out a little quick.
Jerome, I was live for over 6 hours before this. Okay, so Benji, what's up? That's good. Are you working tomorrow?
All right, so that will read it'll be aggravation of, now, Mr. Levine, I had this discussion with, he's a juvenile, so I think it is appropriate in this case. So it will be aggravation
Sunday.
of first degree murder,
And Sunday.
second degree murder.
All right.
It does apply to
Thanks,
manslaughter,
Benji.
Yes, sir.
correct, because it's a level enhancement,
And how's your girlfriend doing?
correct, not an amendment.
Correct.
So it does not apply to first degree murder. I don't think that prosecutors take a different.
Jerome,
I mean, there's,
whatever you do, Jerome, do not look up this case. If you look up this case, don't say anything in the chat. Don't ruin it for anybody else, okay?
As it pertains,
But I'll give you a recap because they're just talking about jury instruction. So here's the recap. Collin Griffiths, he was on trial. This case flew under the radar because he was on trial at the same time as A$AP Rocky. Okay, and Brooklyn says, Jerome, you missed a great trial. This was a fantastic trial. In any event, so the kid's on trial at the time he's 17 years old. He's on trial for taking out his mother. Okay, they accused him of turning his mother's TV off. The defense is claiming that the mom, not even claiming, they're really arguing self-defense. But in one of the 911 calls, I think Collin tells the dispatcher that she fell on the knife. The pathologist testimony is very clear, says that it was homicide. Okay. What's interesting about this case is that about a year and a half before, he used to live in Oklahoma with his father, and he killed the father. Okay, the boy killed the father, and there's no denying that. But as usually the way that trials go, the jurors do not know. The jurors do not know that he killed the father. They only know that he killed somebody. As far as identity, it is unknown. All right. And Jerome was just about to ask about Brooklyn. Dang, Benji, why is she mad? What did you do, Benji? I mean, don't tell me your business. But I'm
capital
sorry.
crime, so I mean, you can't.
Right,
really
you can't
enhance the
enhance
level.
it.
on
Yeah.
my verdict form, if I remember correctly, I don't have a special finding as it pertains to first degree murder.
So it should be aggravation.
And Obag, what else do you suggest for somebody that's starting a book club? Because I was gonna get a shirt, like one of those sweaters to personalize, saying, their name and book club. But I'm like, I don't know, because I'm not trying to buy stuff and the person doesn't fit. I stay away from clothes and scented items. So what I have so far, I have a personalized stamp. I also have a mug, and then your little sticky pads. Anything else?
Second degree murder and for manslaughter, correct?
That's acceptable.
You agree?
Yes.
All right, Jerome. I see Jerome has been working. He's trying to get their money back. He's trying to get the money back from what's a place? I think it was a golf court. He's trying to get his money back from the casino. That's good, though. That's good. That's good. Okay. All right, Benji. All right. Jerome says, dang, Brooklyn, you should have told me about this one. Old bag, I thought you asked Benji how he's golfer. No. I said girlfriend. Socks. I like socks, but no, I'm not getting no socks. These people live in Mississippi. It is hot. It's hot over there. That's why I kind of scratched the sweater idea, because it's what? Actually, let me look up. I just know it's hot.
By carrying, displaying, using, threatening to use, attempting to use a weapon.
Yeah, we started this I was not live on Monday, so we started this on Tuesday. And even when Brooklyn got up here first, he was like, oh my goodness, Where did you find this case? I did not hear about this case. But as soon as, I mean, I told you guys prior to the ASAP Rocky case coming to an end, I'm like, I have a case for you guys. But this was a fantastic case. The attorneys are brilliant on both sides. The judge is great. He runs his courtroom well. All the witnesses were prepared. They got on the stand when they had to get on the stand. They were ready to go. Literally 1-2. It's not about, oh, X, Y, and Z has to find parking. Everybody's there. They're starting on time. Really good. Good trial.
And then we'll read and find that Collin Griffith committed
He has a watch.
second-degree murder
Okay.
or manslaughter.
It is a good one.
And you also find beyond a reasonable doubt that during the commission of the crime, he personally carried, displayed, used, threatened to use, or attempted to use a weapon. You should find him guilty of first-degree murder with a weapon, or second-degree murder with
Egg prices.
second-degree murder with a weapon, or manslaughter with a weapon.
And something else.
Yes.
Yes.
No, actually, Brooklyn, there's a farm. There's a farm that was handing out eggs yesterday. I think it was in the Bronx, and I forgot the other location. But they were giving out eggs, and folks were lining up because the price is sky high.
I don't need to define firearm,
That is correct.
and then I'll define weapon. A weapon is defined as any object readily capable of inflicting bodily harm if used in the ordinary manner contemplated by its design and construction, or to any other object. Do I need to do any other object?
And
No, I think it's,
Pretty clear.
yeah, we're
Do you
doing
agree,
it tonight.
Mr. Levine?
I agree.
All right.
Andrea?
Then the final paragraph, so I'll take out the one as well, so it will just be one sentence. Then the final paragraph, define that.
That is
Collin
true.
Griffith committed second-degree murder.
That is true for 2 hours. I did not know that I had messages. It was a little weird though. I figured it was strange that nobody was saying anything. But yeah. And we had Benji's breakfast up there for literally 2 hours.
Or manslaughter, but you are not convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that he personally carried, displayed, used, threatened to use, or attempted to use a weapon, then you should find him guilty only of
We are friends, Jerome, okay? We are virtual friends.
second-degree
I
murder
think we're more than that. We're co-counsels, okay?
or manslaughter. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
I have this guy. What is this guy? Prentice Jones from Indiana. He's not my co-counsel. The next time you see him, he is my opposing counsel. Because on a number of times, I'm like, I know this Prentice Jones cat. Then he left a comment for me yesterday. I'm like, little bitch, I'm deleting this shit. Like, I don't know what you're on about, but
Now, there is no instruction on the issue related to juveniles. That's just a verdict form issue, correct? With the findings of
Actually,
actually killed, intended to kill, or attempted to kill, correct?
yes, I agree.
All right, so that will take us under 3.7, plea of not guilty, reasonable doubt.
okay, the next chapter. I'll look it up. Thank you.
This is the new standard instruction, I believe, correct?
That I don't know.
Well, it may not be, and I thought, because I've been giving this instruction by memory.
Okay, so Jerome says that we are family. The replay crew is our family. Don't forget, I'm taking it to the Supreme Court. You can do anything and everything you want, Jerome, but you have exhausted all your remedies. Yeah, I mean, it's not that he definitely left me it's not even mean. It was a nasty comment, but I kind of understand. It was under the Kayla Bumpers video. I apparently it shows my character. I'm like, bitch, what are you talking about? You don't know me, and you're the one that's on my video anyways. Go start you a YouTube channel. But what I've noticed, it's mostly the Caleb Bumpus trial, but it was also the ASAP Rocky trial because he was up here on my he was on the panel. He was just me and him. But I've realized that when it comes to a lot of these cases, apart from like Collin Griffith, because he's just a regular person, folks expect, I guess they expect everybody that covers the subject to have the same view as they do, or at least to view a case from their perspective. And I've said it over and over again. On my channel, you're not going to find that because I don't have a dog in this fight. And it's not just that. I also understand, like, from what is this? There's a case from, it was that YSL trial. I don't remember which part it was. It was before the verdict though. But you know, a lot of people were in their feelings, and I understand it. Okay, if you are in a relationship with somebody that has a criminal conviction, or somebody that's a convict, or if you're a convict yourself, or if you have somebody that's incarcerated, I understand why you'll be upset with the system. Okay, and I understand why you are, you know, following these trials. I don't know, it might be a sense of comfort for some folks, and under those circumstances you are hoping and expecting to hear somebody that's advocating for a specific position, and that position tends to be more, not even more defendant leaning, but you're hoping for somebody that's advocating more for the defense, somebody that's criticizing everything that the prosecution is doing. And I'm just not that person. That's not what this channel is about. So under those circumstances, like, listen, if you have a little conviction or whatever, if your folks in your family have convictions, if that's your background and that's why you watch trials, I understand why you're hoping to hear words that are somewhat comforting to you or a little pleasing, whatever it is, right? But this is just not that type of channel, all right? Because even earlier on, when Old Bag said that, I think there was a line in there where I said this is a good case because the prosecution's not even, there are no dirty tricks. They're not trying to hide anything. And Old Bag misunderstood a statement from, was it Kathy or somebody? Somebody was on the stand. No, Kathy is deceased, not Kathy. It's either Susan or Robert. They said something about, they read a line about the dad. And Old Bag thought that that was referring to Oklahoma, but the dad that they were referring to is actually Kathy's father. Okay, so under those circumstances, I'm like, I correct you. No. And that's why I like to watch trials from top to bottom. You have to watch everything. You cannot skip anything. Because if we go back to when I was stuck on the highway or whatever, because I didn't have snow tires. I don't know why I don't have snow tires, because I've been through a bunch of blizzards. I've been through some blizzards and snowstorms, but I never had snow tires. In any event, on that specific day, we covered a little bit of the YNW Melly hearing, okay? And Allie was really amped up. She was talking about, oh, you won't believe it. The judge said that they're going to trial no matter what. And the audio was terrible, but we went through it and we listened to the hearing. And that is not what the judge was saying. The judge was saying this kid has been incarcerated for over 2,000 days. And under those circumstances, because he was incarcerated for over 2,000 days, he's going to trial. So that's why I watch. And also, here's the difference. I'm a licensed attorney. I'm actually a licensed attorney. I've done both prosecution and defense. So I don't, under those circumstances, I just don't pick sides. If somebody's doing stuff they shouldn't be doing, then, you know, I'm going to call it out, whether it's prosecution or defense. And even if we go back to the YSL trial, I really like Simone's closing. That's just the fact. I like the closing. Old Bag remembers something. Brooklyn says, Jerome, did you see the Supreme Court reverse the gossip case. What gossip case? Jerome says comfort was a strong word, but I love when you're talking like a lawyer. Thank you, Jerome. Okay, bro. I don't know. You guys are talking to each other. Okay. So you see, old bag, like I focus on everything. I listen to every single thing. And when I say I don't know, like if somebody says something I don't know to be true, I'm like, I don't know. And the other time, Brooklyn was out here telling me that, oh, I like somebody that disagrees with me or something along those lines. But if I don't know, I don't know. Jerome says, lol, Jason and Brooklyn held you down that day. I don't even know what you guys are talking about, and I frankly don't care. I have a real job, you guys. Like, I have a real job. Yeah, no, Allie is fine. She popped in, wasn't it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yeah, she popped in yesterday, but I don't know. Some stuff might be going on with junior co-counsel. I try to stay out of people's personal lives. So, but I mean, there was a time when I checked in on her to make sure she was okay, but that was pretty much the end of that.
Now for probably 15 years, but I never noticed until recently that first sentence of what a reasonable doubt.
And Jerome, how are you going to tell me that Jason and Brooklyn held me down? Why weren't you the one holding me down? I'm playing.
I never remembered it saying proof beyond a reasonable doubt does not mean proof beyond all doubt.
Okay.
I thought it just started with a reasonable doubt is not a mere possible doubt. So I think this is new. Any objection?
Jerome says that it's energy over here for some reason. Every time I'm on the channel, I get extra frequency. I don't know, Jerome.
No.
All right.
People really lost.
And I am assuming, Mr. Levine, that is pulled from the.
I'll try my very best not to talk about Donald Trump on here, but sometimes when I look at the news,
most current version on the website.
That was my intent, Your Honor.
All right.
Sure.
I mean, I deleted the comment because I don't believe in going back and forth with people. Like, it's my channel. Sometimes during the time when I did cover the Donald Trump cases, though, some of those comments I left because what the hell.
My office, I wouldn't say it was necessarily pulled from the website, but pulled from our computer that is supposed to be the most up-to-date. Jury instructions originated from the website.
And it's in there. It's on the website. That doesn't appear to be.
Benji said, I have a sense of justice.
New standard language. Oh, yes, it was amended in May 2024. All right. Any objection to reasonable doubt?
No.
3.9, weighing the evidence. As to this appears to be standard, as to the factors for consideration 1 through 5 are always given. Do we need money or preferred treatment?
I don't believe so, Judge.
Mr. Levine,
I agree.
pressure or threat?
I don't believe that's applicable here.
Mr. Levine,
I agree.
I will give inconsistent statements. Is that agreed?
Sure.
Mr. Levine, you agree?
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
There's no felony or misdemeanor conviction, correct?
Correct.
And no reputation for truthfulness, correct?
Correct.
You agree, Mr. Levine?
I agree.
All right.
All right, so I'll renumber inconsistent statements as number 6. All right, the rest is standard, including expert witnesses. I will remove the defendant becoming a witness,
Yes, please.
and the rest appears appropriate. Agreed?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you want me to give 3.9A defendant not testifying?
Yes, please.
And am I giving 3.9B defendant statements?
Yes, please.
3.10, rules for deliberation appears to be standard. Is there any objection?
No objection.
What are you referring to, Jerome?
3.11, cautionary instruction is standard. Any objection?
No objection.
3.12, verdict.
I would object.
And why don't you
I thought
just
it was
ask the
doing
question,
good
Jerome?
To, you don't have to be unanimous on the premeditation or the felony murder. But I don't think I have.
You're making a record preservation
Yes.
objection.
I am making a record for preservation purposes.
Do you wish to make any argument?
Just that I think that the unanimity requirement should apply to the different theories that the state has.
Okay, let me just
put
explain
forth as
one
to.
thing here. So, what's her name again? Thornhill. Thornhill is when they're saying that she is making a preservation objection. What that means is that in the event that Collin is convicted, then she has grounds to appeal. Again, for most appeals, if you do not preserve an objection, if you don't make an objection on the record, you have waived the objection. All right, so that's why she's doing that.
To first degree murder, I think that the instruction should be your verdict must be unanimous either as to premeditation or unanimous as to felony murder.
Response, Mr. Levine.
No, Your Honor, I would ask that you instruct the jury on the standard jury instruction.
The law, as I understand, has not changed, and that under the Florida law, they do not have to be unanimous as to the type of first degree murder, only that it be one or the other. I think this should go before the paragraph above it.
Yes, it should.
Do you agree, Mr. Levine, that the last paragraph should go above the second to last paragraph?
Wherever it's supposed to go, Your Honor.
All right, so that's where I'm going to put it, and you agree with that?
That's fine.
We'll talk about the verdict form in just a second. Single defendant, multiple counts.
Brooklyn, where you at?
Information in the title, that appears to be standard and includes the caveat for legally interlocking counts. Any objection?
No objection.
That takes us to legally interlocking counts. Now, if I remember correctly, the last paragraph is not standard, but it's something that has been used before. So this is sort of a special instruction, correct, Mr. Levine?
If I remember correctly, yes. I believe in these cases, maybe even Your Honor proposed it or gave the parties an option, and it seemed to make good sense and describe everything clearly and accurately. If the defense has any objection to something, I don't object to if they want something taken out. That's beyond the standard.
So Ms. Thornhill, the first two paragraphs appear to be standard and accurate. That last paragraph reads, however, The alternative crime of first-degree premeditated murder charged in count one is not linked to
Apparently
any other
Brooklyn is
count.
at the dollar store.
A finding of guilty or not guilty as to count two must not affect your verdict
Shout out to FIBA
as to
though.
the first-degree premeditated murder charged in count one.
I think that's an accurate statement of the law. I don't have an objection to it being read, even though it's not part of the standard instruction. It might actually help them figure things out if they actually notice that one is felony murder and one is premeditated murder.
So as to the rest
Yeah,
of
shout out to FIBA. FIBA was up here listening to us during his lunch break, okay?
that instruction, any objection?
He's eating a chopped cheese.
No.
And that takes us to 3.13,
Oh,
submitting
that is so funny.
case to jury, which is standard. Is there any objection?
No objection.
And then instructional discharge.
No objection.
All right, are there any other, before we talk about the verdict form, any other standard or special instructions requested by the state,
No, Your Honor.
by the defense?
I'm sorry, hold on.
All right. And, talking a little bit.
I'm sorry, Judge, what was?
Any other standard or special instructions requested?
No.
All right,
Oleg said FIBA comes, yells at everyone, but he has bad eyes and has to use all caps. I've always wondered about that, but I'm like, I don't know. That's probably just how he types. I did not take it. I did not take it in a negative light, though.
let's take a look at the verdict form.
Oleg is so funny.
Here's
Shout out to
the-
FIBA. All right, are they done?
The defendant is guilty of the further finding a lesser included offense, and under that, the further findings, and then manslaughter, which does not have the further findings. So my thought is we separate the verdict form into guilt findings and then special findings separately, since it would become repetitive if after second degree murder and manslaughter, they're the same section of special findings. Does that sound fair, Mr. Levine?
It does, Your Honor, and I would ask that you add the language under manslaughter that's there for second degree murder, the special findings. It was I didn't put it on there as an oversight.
I think also the finding as to actually killing, well, you've only proposed that they be asked about actually killing Catherine Griffith. You don't really need any of the attempted to kill or intended to kill language.
Yeah, by operation of the facts of this case, I'm okay with it just saying actually killed.
That's fine.
All right,
But I,
go ahead.
because he is a juvenile, and that's what those special findings pertain to, would you put it under after the guilt findings, then do that as a further finding? That's what
Yes,
you were
it would.
indicating. Okay.
So we would basically have count one and count two. It would be count one in order, first degree murder, second degree murder, manslaughter, not guilty. And then count two, kidnapping, false imprisonment, not guilty. Then special finding question one, if you found the defendant guilty of first degree murder or second degree murder, you must answer the following question. The defendant actually killed Kathy Griffith? Yes, no. And I explained when I'm going over the verdict form that those also have to be beyond a reasonable doubt and unanimous findings. And then, so that's special finding one. Special finding two, if you found the defendant guilty of second degree murder or manslaughter, you must answer the following question. The defendant carried, displayed, etc.? Yes or no?
That makes a lot of sense.
Mr. Levine?
Yes, sir.
So I'm not gonna pound through that here while you're sitting in front of me. I'll just correct it
Thank
and email everything to you all this afternoon so you have it. And if you see any errors,
Judge is gonna email everything in the afternoon. That's crazy. They're so swift over there. Let me remove this. Yeah, old bag is really funny. Old bag is really funny. Let's see. He did it all the time. I got used to it. Yeah, I got used to it too. I really got used to it. Yeah. So old bag says the family was a mess. The grandpa, the grandma, the husband, the ex-husband, the student. They had yeah, they have a lot going on. Yeah, they had a lot going on. Uh, Shooting guns in the air, overdosing on pills. They had, I don't know. I don't even know how it would take. I don't know. I don't know how they uh, generations have to be removed from all this trauma because yeah, a lot has been going on. In any event, folks, that is the end of the live. What time? We still have time, though. I don't know. Jerome, come up here. Jerome, come up here. Jerome, I need you up here. We'll just talk for 5 minutes and then we can call it a night. So after this case, because again, I think we're scheduled to be done on Friday. No. I'm not coming up here on Friday. We're scheduled to be done with this on Sunday. Okay. I just dropped the link. So on Sunday, I have to figure out a time because again, my daughter goes swimming, so it gets a little. And I do plan. I'm going to Dollar Tree, and I want to buy a new laundry basket. So I'll be going to TJ Maxx. I need to stay out of TJ Maxx, but I'll be going to TJ Maxx. Let me think about this because it's gonna take a distance because we actually have to drive. Let me think what time. Yeah, I think it makes sense to come up here in the evening. But I am going back to work. I need to get ready for that and iron and do all types of things. Let me think about it quickly. I think it makes sense to come up here. Okay, excuse me. 4:30, 5:30, 6:30. I think let's do 4:30. Yeah, let us do 4:30. And the only reason I want to do that is because I don't want to come up here too late and then stay up arguing with Jerome and everybody else. What's up, Jerome?
What's up, Jerome in the house? What's up? That's so.
It's been a while.
Huh?
It's been a while. How have you been doing?
I've been chilling. Good to
Yeah.
good to hear from you. You know, good to hear from you, the whole crew. And like I said, this is I like how like old bag. You know I'm still gonna take it to the Supreme Court. We ain't gonna talk about that, right?
Jerome, no. I like having my channel back. I think are allowed a whole lot of bunch of nonsense that I should not have. But go on. Yeah, I love TJ Maxx and Ross. TJ Maxx grew on me though. TJ Maxx grew on me because initially I did not really like TJ Maxx. Maybe I just had a bad batch of items, but yeah. Jerome, what are you saying? I don't know what happened. I mean, it's not really Jerome unless he goes in and out. No, that doesn't sound right. That didn't sound right. But Jerome, we cannot hear you. You need to get back up here. Brooklyn, why do you think Ross is going out of business? I've not been to Ross in like 2 or 3 years. It's been a while. It has been a while. Jerome.
You're missing one. Marshalls.
No. What are you saying?
Put on. You can hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna put it on speakerphone. It's just that freaking goddamn. But truthfully, back in the day, We didn't go to none of those. We didn't have no TJ Maxx in New York. We had to go to Marshall. I remember my Marshalls.
It's kind of the
TJ
same
Maxx
thing,
came
though.
later.
Marshalls is kind of the same thing, or at least they're
Yeah,
owned by
but
the
they didn't. We didn't have no TJ Maxx back there. Now New York, come on. I don't remember no TJ Maxx.
Yeah. I know. How was your trip, though? Was I right? Did you go to Gulfport? What happened to Jerome? Jerome, where'd you go? Jerome, where did you go? Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna wait for Jerome. Anyways, I guess let's recap a little bit. So after, let me see, after we're done with Collin, there's a case out of Florida. Okay, that one I'm probably going to pre-record. I'll pre-record next weekend. All right, I have so many emails from work. I've been reading my emails, but I can just tell that I'm going to step into a mess. In any event, Obag is asking if.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, what were you saying?
Who, me?
Yeah. Your words were cutting. What's up?
Nah, I wasn't really saying that. I was giving a shout out to Obag
Oh, okay. Well, we did not hear you.
and Brooklyn, of course, Brooklyn and Benji. You know how I go. But
Yeah. Shout out Jason and Callie too. They've been holding
shout
it
out to
down.
Jason and Callie.
Oh my goodness. Jerome, I'm gonna send you a phone, okay? I'm gonna send you one of those Obama phones. That's what I'm gonna do. Send me a PO box.
We got the same phone.
Oh, the Obama phone. I need to send
Yeah.
you because you keep going in and out.
I got you on speakerphone.
So
that
why
might be your phone.
you? Honey, I'm on a computer, all right?
Oh.
I'm
Well,
on
that might be your Wi-Fi.
No. I have that. I have that Barack Obama Wi-Fi. No. It's working over here. Where did he go again? Okay. In any event, there's a case out of Florida. Oh, I guess this is Florida, but there's another case out of Florida that oh, bag, I'm married. I know I don't sound like it. I don't act like it. I am. Anyways, what did I say? What was I saying? Jerome, you're back. What do you have? Do you have a message for the people? It's been a while since you gave a closing.
I thought you was talking about a case. I was watching. You said you was talking about a case.
Yeah, I stopped because you went out, but now you're in. So that's why I stopped, because the people want to hear from you. I love hearing from you. Okay, I know what happened to Jerome. In any event, there's another case out of Florida. That's going to be a very short one, though. I don't think. Is that one? Let me think about it. Is that one that we actually want to watch top to bottom or not? I'm not sure.
Say that'd be a good idea. I would say that'd be good.
Oh, watch it from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a case out of Florida, but that's a good case because it's going to highlight. It's a very.
I wish Brooklyn would be good if he could talk like, you know what I mean? Because Brooklyn
cannot connect on here though. I have to put it.
No, remember when you had to do the that was around New Year's or something like that. You was like, I don't usually do this, but because I don't even know how you.
What happened to Jerome? I got married last night. Didn't you hear me talking about my mother-in-law? What's up? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Did you hear what I just said?
No, the last thing you said was something about Brooklyn getting up here, something about New Year's.
All right, we'll just leave it at that because I was talking too much anyway.
No, that's fine. I think you're talking about the time when I had Brooklyn up here, but I had to call him.
Yeah, y'all had to do some type of maneuver.
Yeah, but I mean, I brought him. I had to call him because, again, I felt really awful of the things that Jasmine had said, and it bothered me the whole day. So that's how I called him. But I don't know, when we get to
Brooklyn
the end,
said, watch the episode with the drug dealer.
What drug dealer?
Brooklyn is hilarious too. Now Brooklyn is funny like old bag. Him and Obag.
Him and Oldback did no, Jerome. I'm definitely sending you. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you a an Obama phone. I'm gonna send you something. I'm gonna send you. Don't you have a different device or something? I don't know.
I do.
So get on the other device because you keep cutting out, and the
Nah,
people.
cause you know what it is. Cause y'all like you might know more than me. It's like when like when my screen is off. Once it goes into sleep or once the screen goes off,
Oh, I
then I
see.
that's when I'm losing. As long as it's
So,
lit up, so I just
so
gotta keep
just keep
hitting
your
it to
hand
make
on
it
the
keep light
screen.
up.
Keep your hand on the screen,
That's
like
what I'm
keep
gonna
your
do.
finger.
I'm gonna keep every time. I'm gonna
You
keep
can
hitting it
change
like
the
an old
settings
person.
though.
I
You
know.
can change
I
the
know.
settings. So I don't
You
know.
know, I qualify for AARP now, so maybe when you qualify for stuff, maybe you don't care no more.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
that's
you just
funny.
don't care. You're like, fuck
You
it.
need to you need to claim your membership.
Oh man.
You need you need to claim your membership.
I forgot to renew it.
You need to you need to claim all your benefits. I'm just saying. Claim your membership. Do something.
What's
Do
Brooklyn talking about? What's Brooklyn talking about?
the video for the drug dealer that she met, that Simone Redwine met in Jamaica, and something about being pregnant and and what is this? I don't know that girl's mess. She was she earmarked that girl earmarked that man's money. So you know,
But
all
Brooklyn
right.
must have said that earlier. How did you figure that out that fast?
What?
I'm trying to figure out what Brooklyn's.
Jerome. What happened to keeping your finger on the screen? Yeah, you need to
I'm
change the
here.
settings on your phone. Change the
I'm
settings
here.
on your
I'm here.
okay. All right. In any event, I lost track of what we're saying. So there's another case out of Florida. I think that will be a good one, top to bottom. As far as Karen Reed, we somehow have to touch on Karen Reed. Maybe give a background on what's the guy? Kohlberger. We need to somehow get everybody up to speed on that one. But I mean, that's it, man. I truly enjoyed this trial. This was a fantastic trial. This was a really good trial.
Oh, you talking about the dude that killed the people at the college place?
Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
Idaho. Yeah, for him, that's going to be an interesting trial. I've had interest in that trial I mean, even the arrest. I'm
Did they
like,
ever let? Did they ever let the uh what's the name of them from California?
Jerome, keep the finger on the
Sorry,
screen.
I'm sorry. I'm
Change the
sorry.
settings.
All right.
Do something.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But
Can you hear me?
yeah,
The Menendez brothers. Remember they
the
supposed did they actually grant them or no?
the Menendez brothers, because at the time when they gave the press conference and they created this hoopla and everything, um, there was an indication that the prosecution was on board for, these folks to be, I wanted to say discharged. Discharged is not the right word, for them to be released. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that's where they were heading. But as of, is it this week or last week? I don't remember if it's this week or last week. I just read a few articles, not in depth, but it's my understanding that the district attorney is kind of changing course. I've not really
Oh,
gotten into it, but we can definitely take a closer look into that, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so Brooklyn says
word.
Kohlberger, Edelson. I think Edelson will have to get into as well because she's kind of ripe for trial. So okay, but that's my thing though, because for me, when it comes to trials, I like top to bottom. I don't like watching clips here and there because you don't
Right.
actually It doesn't give you a full picture. And I mean, for
Right.
YouTube, it's not necessary because oftentimes I was actually shocked during the time of what's that kid's name? Florida. What's the rapper's name? YNW Melly. Okay, when right around the time when the jury was hung. Okay, um, around the time when the jury was hung, Law and Crime came out with a report. They came out with a report. You know, they're pretty much reporting. Okay, just know that they came out with a report, a video, you know, giving an update. I was shocked when the update was basically them reading verbatim what a news article said. And I was like, wait, what? What kind of
Well, you
report?
said reading the what?
They basically just read like a news clipping or report or something, basically from top to bottom. So that's when I realized that when they create their videos, they don't necessarily, I mean, with the exception of the live stream is one thing. But a lot of folks on YouTube, when they're reporting about something, it's more so just reading clippings or whatever, and you know, putting a video out, which is, I guess, good if that's how you make your money. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to just focus on different aspects. I want the trial from top to bottom, because that way we actually know what happened and we can
Right.
explain some things and we understand how a jury you know, reaches a verdict.
Right.
So,
Thinking like a lawyer. It'd be like if they have a question, you want to have an answer.
right, and that's what interests me. Okay, apparently Old Bag doesn't like clips. Old Bag, again, presumption of innocence, but the evidence, according to the prosecution so far, they are suggesting that he acted alone. All right.
Which one we talking about now?
No. Old Bag had a question about the Kohlberger, the Idaho.
Oh, Kohlberger. Okay, I want to make sure what case we's on.
Yeah, but there's a really interesting one out of Florida. There's an interesting. Let me see if I can find the trial in its entirety, and then we'll take it from there. And then as we get into, you know, closing arguments on Sunday, for that one, I'm going to have to ask folks how they think the jury. It's
I thought
interesting.
that's when you was coming back on Sunday. You was gone. Today's the last day, and then you'll be back Sunday, or I'm wrong?
Yeah, I'm back on Sunday. So on Sunday we're gonna do 4:30 p.m. Because that time I should be back home by then.
So tonight is the last night, though.
Yeah, because you know, this was my kids' vacation. We've not really done much. So at least I take her out tomorrow. I take her out on Saturday, and then we're gonna run some errands on Sunday, do my grocery shopping, clean my floors.
How's the weather down there?
Perfect.
You are good. That's why you're a lawyer. I love you. That's why
Perfect.
we have so much fun. We have so much fun.
It's perfect, Jerome. How's your weather? How's it going over there, Jerome?
I know. That's see how we could counteract. You was asking me about golf. You see?
Yeah.
I got something for her. Just wait. That's how a lawyer. I'm trying to learn from you. I want to be a lawyer too.
Ben, listen, Jerome. You were in my neck of the woods, okay? If you're saying that you did not go to Hurrah, if you were not in New Orleans, the only other place you'd be going to has to be Gulfport, Mississippi. Otherwise, it makes zero sense. It makes no sense for you to get off in New Orleans, unless you lied about actually New Orleans. But that airport, it just doesn't make sense. There's nowhere else you'd be going. It's either Hurrah. If it's not Hurrah, you're definitely in Gulfport.
Actually, if anybody is my friends on Facebook, you would figure it out. How about that?
I don't have Facebook.
I don't do Instagram.
Benji, do you have Facebook?
The only evidence that I left behind, lawyer, is on Facebook.
Oh yeah, I don't know, Benji. Somebody with what is this? Facebook? Go on there. Go on there. But when I do open my law firm, I guess I'll befriend you, Jerome. I'll go on there. You'll see my little ads. All right. When
Can
I
you hear
open
me?
up my own office,
You still hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
Oh,
you're
okay, okay.
on the
I'm sorry.
screen.
I ain't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to.
Okay. So Benji only Instagram. All right.
Benji is like 25 years old, so he's going. That's the young investigator. Benji
Yeah.
probably already know where you at. I gotta pay
What's that?
Benji off. I gotta pay Benji off, so we be even, and I know where you at since you know where I be at.
Oh, okay. Ooh, I was about to say something. Never mind.
Just on some New York stuff, too, because you know we always compete. You know what I mean? I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I'm better than you.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
So
how we
let's
do, right?
see. Yeah, I mean, shout out to New York, though. Shout out to New York. Shout out
Shout
to New
out to
York.
New York.
Shout out to Fever. I guess we're done. Do you have a closing? Or are you ready to go?
You
Jerome, why
talking
don't
to
you?
me? Nah,
Yeah.
I know how I got to do it now.
Okay, do you have a closing? You just need to go change the settings. That's what you need to do.
Well, you about to go?
Yeah, I mean, we're done. We're just talking crap. So,
Oh, I
yeah.
thought you was about to show something new.
No. We're done for now. I am going to rest a little bit. I'm gonna talk to my man. I'm gonna talk to my man. I don't want to be up too late. So,
All right.
all right, Jerome. It was a pleasure having you up here, man. It's like old days.
Yeah, it don't seem like it's been that long, but it's like, yo, it's like it brings it back to reality. But in my opinion, it kind of depresses me a little bit because I
Why?
miss the old days.
Nah, I don't miss them
I
days.
remember when you was like big cousin and all that.
I mean,
Flash,
shout out to Jasmine though. I like Jasmine.
Flash, Shot
Face.
Jiggy. We
I,
had a lot of
I did
fun.
I did not block Flash. I just blocked a few people. I did not block him
Yeah,
though.
I know. I know.
So
I know.
yeah, no, they were creating havoc. Havoc.
I know. But being that you're a lawyer, right?
What?
I know you want to be a judge one day.
What? No, I
I
don't.
know you want to be a judge
No,
one
I
day.
don't.
But can you please cleanse your heart to actually just say, hey, if you do better, I will do better.
I'm not their mom, so no. No. I'm not gonna tell them
Damn.
to clean their
I'm a
rooms.
very good lawyer and I lost again.
No. I like my channel this way. I like
But
my
but
channel
but
this way.
but all right, let me say this before we get off the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Jerome Street is not perfect. You know I'm not perfect.
All right.
I can come out of line sometimes and you'll be like Jerome. But it'll be like mm.
Well,
Do you think it's a female thing to where it'd be like it's harder to forgive people? Because it seems like you would actually have to know something more than I know
I mean, I've considered
for it
block.
to be like Jerome. You don't know what the
I
you
mean, I
don't.
here's the thing, Jerome. I don't like to go back and forth about stuff.
All right,
I've
all right, all
said
right,
no.
all
I've
right.
said everything that I had to tell you. If I wanted to
Yeah,
forward you emails, I could have done
I
that.
know. I feel you.
Then,
I feel you. I don't want to cut you off, lawyer. The only thing that I can say, 'cause when I say lawyer, I call you. That's like saying sister.
no,
That's
okay.
like saying sister at the same time. The only thing that I can say is like, you know how we are gifted. God gives gifts. We on
Brother
YouTube. We
Jerome.
on
No, Brother
YouTube to where
Jerome.
your voice could be strong to where you
Stay
didn't
strong.
even.
Do you hear all
Huh?
this bass in here? They said I sound like I
I'm
smoke.
just saying
Hear
that's
all
got to
this
be a
bass.
God's gift of somebody that can use words and actually generate to people to where they come back and they listen and stuff. And
No,
even if you're like if you're out of pocket, like if I
no,
had
that
my
is not my
channel like
job. Th- Jerome, that is not what I want my platform to be. And I'm going to say again, I really should have blocked Jasmine the very first time that she came up
Oh, we
here.
didn't have to say. Don't say. Damn,
No,
you
no,
had to
no, I
call her
don't
out.
care. But I should have blocked her the very first time she came up here and attacked
Oh,
Brooklyn, but I didn't. There were a few other instances when I should have gotten up here and done it, but I didn't. And even
okay.
prior to me blocking them, the
Damn.
weekend before, it was pretty bad because somebody actually, after the fact, you were not
Jerome
alive
done
that night.
messed the whole game up. I
No, no,
done
no.
made you.
Somebody after the fact sent me an email apologizing
I
for.
know you told me. You
And
told me.
no, no, no.
I
But
didn't.
here's
I
the
didn't
thing.
want us to go
Jerome,
revisit
listen,
because
no, no,
that
no.
must have really pissed you
Jerome,
off.
let me finish.
All right.
If I allow that conduct to keep reoccurring, under no circumstances will I be able to grow my channel, and under no circumstances will I be able to attract the people that I want to
Yeah,
continue
I got you.
listening to my content. Because there are at least two people. You'll remember there was a day that a lady came up here. I don't remember her name, but she was a much older lady. She got on the panel for a little bit, and it was so chaotic, and there was no decorum to the point where she never returned. And apart from that day, I remember the day when I got stuck on the highway again. I don't know why on earth I don't have snow tires, but in any event, when I got stuck on the highway, the chat was also out of control on that day, whereby people pretty much kept leaving and they're like, I think I'm just going to watch the replay. I do not want that on my channel. It is
Right.
not their channel. YouTube
Right.
has over 51 million channels.
All right.
It does not cost a thing to create a YouTube channel. Whatever
Well, it makes sense.
environment,
It makes
let me
sense.
finish
I.
talking. Whatever
I'm sorry. I'm
environment they
sorry.
want to create, there's a platform for that. There are channels
Yes,
that
ma'am.
allow that. I do not want that to be my platform. I want to attract new people. I want to
Yes.
attract people that are interested in what I'm interested in. And I've
Yes.
said it over and over again. I've allowed them to come up on my channel and I've joked about, them talking about screwing the same person or whatever. I think those were my words or whatever. And they were talking about things that had absolutely nothing to do with what we're discussing. Okay. So
Okay.
I need to
I can
maintain
get it.
control. I need to maintain control of my channel, and it's my channel. All right. There are
Yeah.
a bunch of, and here's the thing. To me, it's not even a matter of a difference of opinion. Because I've said it, what's his name? Prentice, he's coming up here. I call him opposing counsel. And
Yeah, he's a. Oh, I want to hear this.
I call him opposing counsel, but he's come up here a number of times, said things. And I mean, you don't even have a law license, and you want to tell me that I'm speculating. But even though we have a difference of opinion, I've allowed to come up here, and once he's done, he moves on.
Yeah.
He put up a comment that I don't agree with.
I
on my
remember
channel.
that night. I was there.
No, but yesterday he put up a comment. I deleted the channel, the comment. I could have blocked him. I did not block him. Okay, because again, it's like
So he was just challenging you as a lawyer. Because the only one that I was there for was when he actually put me in the mix. Even though he's a good guy, I have no problem with him. You hear me? Am I still alive?
Yeah, you're alive. You're alive. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but he said, it's going to be kind of hard. I don't know his credentials, but like, that it's not a good idea if you talk to another person that you're a superior lawyer, or if the person is on your level or lower. But two lawyers talking, even if somebody's in practice, that's not going to be a good look, because you're just going to be going back and forth. And thank God I got a pass, because I'm a lawyer that I'm a jailhouse lawyer. So it never works out. Because I remember one night when he said something, and then I said something, and then he said, well, I ain't even gonna say it. I ain't even gonna say that, because that's snitching right there. So
Okay.
yeah, I remember
I
one
love
night.
Red, though. I love
remember
Red,
one night.
though.
I remember one night when it was like, damn, because I'll say this, he said that he did some He went to school or something. He told
He
you.
said paralegal studies. He did not even sound like he graduated paralegal studies. So go ahead, Jerome. Can you put your finger on the phone? Oh my goodness.
I know, dang. You can hear us. You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Be like Esso and Jerome, best friends that like to argue.
What? Jerome,
No,
where you go? Oh.
I was just being funny. What you said, Esso?
Old bag said, I'm lucky I'm still here. I'm putting my finger on the phone.
I know. I know.
Okay. And then Brooklyn says, I challenge Essa all the time. I told her I'm always right, but I want to hear her point of view. And I mean, it's just a
Yeah,
manner in
because
which,
truthfully, you're not.
truthfully, it's what? Man, Jerome.
Oh
What?
shit! You always have to challenge you. That's when you're fun. You know, the panel, Benji got to come up here a lot more in Brooklyn because you're a lot fun when you Jamaican. So
I'm
it's
fun
like,
all the
yo,
time.
when you get pissed
I
off,
am fun
when you
all
get
the
pissed
time.
off, you piss off a Jamaican, mother, you gonna get a lot of knowledge. I'll tell you that. You gonna,
I'm fun all the time, Jerome.
yeah, but I'm saying, come on, you got to know how to come at it, though. You got to know how to come
Okay.
at it.
All right.
Just like how I could keep you on the phone for another 20 minutes.
No, Jerome, I need
I
to
gotta
go.
challenge you. You gotta be challenged.
Now, my
If you ain't
man
challenging
is
you,
ready
you
for
ain't.
bed, and
That's
I'm not
how I know
ready
how to
for
do the
that.
Jamaicans to be like, yo, you about to get off. Give me 20 minutes. Can I get 20?
Jerome, we're here much longer. We're just supposed to be here for an hour.
I'm just saying, can I get 20 minutes? I'm just
What?
asking. Can I get 20 minutes?
No, because I'm going to talk to my
Because you're gonna
man.
make my night. I had a bad day today, man.
Jerome, watch the
This
replay.
is really giving me mine. It's
I
really
can,
gonna
I can,
make me sleep better. I'm gonna sleep better tonight.
I
I'm
can
really
mute
gonna.
myself and you can talk to these folks, but I need
I
to talk.
mean, you're my friend. You're my friend. Come on. 20 minutes. Come on.
Jerome, go get you
You
a
could tell
girl.
I'm by myself. You could tell I'm by myself. I'm yelling. Come
Go
on,
get you a
mother.
woman.
I don't have no one. I'm by myself. I got
I told you
dogs.
to get you a woman. I told the real thing, and I told you to get a woman. So, and the old bag is telling Jerome to let it out. Jerome, put the damn finger on the screen.
All I got to do is just keep hitting the reset. I can just keep hitting the reset.
No,
Y'all can hear me.
go change the settings. You need to
Nah, that's actually kind of good because that's when I hit it. Then just in case y'all don't need to hear something. Remember, y'all used to be like, "Yo, Jerome is taking a leak." See, that's
that
maybe.
was so chaotic. That was amazing.
Remember about the leak part, right? That's kind
Yeah.
of. So that's a good deal. All I gotta do is just hit the screen.
You're a mess. You're a
20
mess.
minutes.
Let me see if my man's up. If he's asleep, I'll stay on here. So let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna mute my.
Yeah, 20 minutes. Don't put me in the crib. Old bag. Old bag. That's a good question.
What's the question? I only have 5 minutes, Jerome. So let me see what's going on
Oh,
here.
dang. You got a clock around your neck.
Old bag is like he's asleep. I just called him. Man. He's up. What? Your day bad.
He probably watching us right now. He still be watching us? He a fan?
Brooklyn, what was very childish? Yeah, it was a childish time. I agree. I agree. I agree.
It's telling on this. What?
Jerome, you cannot even, you want me up here longer, Jerome, but you cannot even keep your finger on the screen.
Nah, because I told you I just had to hit the button.
No, you have to change the settings.
Well, email me. Can you email me? Tell me how to do that.
Let's do that, Jerome. Let me email you. Listen, Jerome, once I end this live, I can call you back. I can send you a private link and we can talk, okay? If
Yeah.
you need somebody to keep you company. All right.
All right. That's cool. I don't
Okay.
like being put in the crib. Anyway.
All right, I'll do that. I'm gonna talk to my man and then I'll send you a link. I think there's a way, or maybe I'll just start a new live. How about that? But you better show up though. All right.
Not. When you doing that?
Yeah. Huh?
When you doing that?
Jerome, why can't you go to sleep? Take some melatonin and go to sleep. Do that.
I don't. All right. Why I gotta go to sleep though? Jerome has always been the same Jerome. That's the part that don't nobody understand. I'm gonna have to get a witness. Jasmine used to be my eyeballs. I wouldn't say chick or
She should
nothing like
start a
that. She would
channel.
be my eyeballs just to see and be like, yo, Jerome rock like this, he rock like that. He's a cool ass dude. He cool as shit. He's cool. He cool. He cool. I'm pretty sure y'all could tell that I'm a damn lame, and I work, come home, do my
That's what I do
do,
too.
and damn it, I'm a
sure.
good fucking guy. I'm a good fucking guy. I'm a piece. I'm a piece, like the biggest piece of chicken meat.
What on earth?
Me, I'm chilling over there. I'm chilling. It's like, yo, I don't believe you. They be like, you gotta be married. You gotta have it. You gotta be that. You know?
I don't know. I'm gonna find you somebody to marry. Okay, let's do that.
Nah, I don't want to get married. I didn't say that. I like friends. Friends are good. I like friends. They're good. Friends are good.
Let me find you somebody to get married. I'm gonna find you somebody in my family. Okay. What?
Yeah, I like the big piece of chicken. Oh, bad.
That's crazy. I don't know. Let me find you. I'm gonna find somebody in my family to marry you. All right.
I don't want to get married. I don't want to get married. But you know, I don't want to get married unless they like. I don't want to get married. Truthfully, all right, I believe you with this. I don't want to get married unless it's at least 3 people getting married together. How about that?
This is you.
How about that? I'm not getting married. It's got to be at least 3. 3, we get married. How about that?
Okay, you're on that.
That lets you know about Jerome Street right there. 3 people, let's get married. We get married. I'll think about it.
Leave these women alone. You don't have to get married. All right.
3, and I'll be happy. If anybody that want to, I'm taking applications all day.
That's crazy. All right, Jerome. We can.
It's true. Ain't that true? Wouldn't you want the truth?
No, I appreciate the truth. Okay,
the truth. And truthfully, I'm cool with being like you pick, and that's on
2 men, 1 woman.
What she said?
2 guys and 1 girl.
Oh, well, everybody.
2 guys and
that's not marriage. That's not what I would want. But everybody.
2 guys and a cup. Old bag is.
That's not marriage. That's not marriage, though. It's not marriage.
Of course it is.
How many dudes? If you actually anybody, if you ain't been 2 dudes or 1 girl, not to be disrespectful, then you ain't did nothing. But as far as like 2 females, I mean, I don't want to get married. So for me to throw that out there, I'm just more along the lines of a guy that just want to.
Okay, now he goes mute. All right, Jerome, you're going mute. I need to go talk to my to my companion. Okay, we should have been in Cuba together. So I
Why
need to
you
go
didn't go?
because the planes are crashing.
Oh yeah, it is kind of crazy.
Yeah, the planes are crashing, and I don't even know.
Yeah,
My sister, my mom, and my little nephew, and my daughter, of course, we were supposed to meet up this summer, but I don't know. The planes are crashing, so I don't know.
yeah, it is a crazy time. It is
Yeah,
crazy.
the planes are crashing, so I don't even know because I don't know if I'm gonna go to Mississippi this year. Um, I don't know. I don't want to drive either. That's all.
Why you don't drive?
Because I hate driving. Who is trying to drive? Listen, the most I can drive is like 30 minutes. Okay, 30
Oh
minutes. I've
man,
driven longer than that, but I hate driving. I hate long distance
dang.
driving.
I thought you was gonna be my best friend, and I can't even afford you as a best friend.
What do you mean?
I can't afford you.
How?
I gotta hire people to do every damn thing.
What are you talking about?
You said you can't drive. If I'm like, yo, you
I
don't
can
like to
drive.
fly. Oh, what about the train? What about the train? I love the train. I love the train, especially when you're tired and you.
Jerome, can you please just put your finger on the phone?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But do you like the train? The train is great if you're sleepy. Cause you get and you could sleep damn near the whole damn trip.
I've only taken Amtrak once.
You would love it, especially when you're tired. Cause that's all I do. If I take the Amtrak, that's a sleep. Unless you're going to New
That
York,
was
thank
back,
God they don't have that layover in DC anymore for
back
like
in
5 hours or some crazy shit.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see though. But we'll see. But Jerome, I need to go talk to my man, all right? You need to get you a girl. You need to go get you a girl so you have somebody to talk to, all right?
All right.
Okay.
Love
Good
you
night,
too.
my dear. Love you. Bye. Good night, folks. I'll be back on Sunday. We'll schedule for 4:30 p.m. We get into closing and then we get into some stuff. All right. All
Shout
right,
out to
folks.
everybody.
Shout out to everybody. It's been fantastic. I'm glad my Jerome is back. Jerome, when I get divorced, I'm gonna find you, okay? I know you said.
That's
I know
if
you said.
that's if Sarah don't find me first.
Who? Oh, Sarah. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to Sarah. I know you said you don't want to get married, but when
Yeah,
I
love
get a
y'all.
divorce, when the judge finalizes this stuff, I'll come and find you. All right. Old bag is so tickled.
Oh man, man.
All right, folks. I'm calling it a night. We've been very chaotic. Let's have a prayer tonight. Have a great weekend, Benji. Enjoy your shift.
You too.
Brooklyn, do your thing, huh? Shout out
No, I
to.
said no. Yeah.
All
Go
right.
ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
Good night,
God
Joe.
bless
You see,
everybody.
you're calling me Bay and everything. We might get married. So
Oh, that's it. Yeah,
we
let me
might
stop.
get married. Trying to call me Bay and everything. All right, I'm messing around. Have a good night, Jerome. Talk to you on Sunday.
Love.
All right, bye.